Sup, everybody, man, it's your boy, Mr. Dugai, coming at y'all with another episode of Dropping Dimes with Mr. Dugai. And today, man, I'm a proud LSU fan as the LSU Tigers had 7 players drafted in the 2021 NFL Draft. And I'm going to just talk about each one of them right quick, where they landed and what I think about these situations. Before I get into this video, man, for everyone, if you want to give me a follow on my social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, I'm going to have all that information down in the description box. May not always get a chance to respond to questions and comments on these videos, so feel free to DM me. Whenever I get a chance to, I'll get back at you. Come holler at your boy, yo. Congratulations, man. These 7 young men, who are also key contributors to a national championship team, just a couple of seasons ago. Legend status, that's right. First with the number 5 overall pick, of course, we all knew he would have been the first Tiger taken, was JaMarr Chase, who goes to the Cincinnati Bengals. It's pretty cool for him, considering he's hooking up with Jambalaya Joe Burrow again. And I know that Jambalaya Joe had a lot to do with this pick. I know he was advocating for Chase over there in that Bengals organization, probably to his own demise, because I do think offensive lineman was more important. But nevertheless, I know it's really hard to pass up not only a dynamic talent like Chase, but someone you're extremely familiar with and had extreme success throwing the football to. Look, I think it's gonna be fun. Like I'm gonna have an eye on the Cincinnati Bengals all season, just to see what that Burrow Chase connection is producing over there. I'm really excited to see them work together out there in the NFL and make things happen. I'm sure a lot of LSU Tigers are, gonna be kind of secretly, pulling for the Cincinnati Bengals on the side. Also, the next player taken, the second LSU Tiger taken, was with the 59th overall pick, was Terence Marshall Jr., who goes to the Carolina Panthers. Another reunion, yo. Terence Marshall Jr. links back up with Joe Brady, who was the passing game coordinator, but we all called the offensive coordinator, for his 1 year at LSU when we went on and won the national championship. And I seen, Terence Marshall on Instagram put, meant to be. It was a picture of him getting loose, warming up, and Joe Brady going over there, chopping it up with him. Good situation for him also. This is a team, they have Robbie Anderson, they have DJ Moore, but they don't really have that big body, physical, go get the ball, 50-50 ball type of receiver that Terence Marshall gives them. I think it's a really good fit for him. I think he's going to get great opportunities over there. Sam Darnold is on basically a prove it or lose it type of situation. You prove that you're you're a worthy NFL starting quarterback, or you lose that description and you're either out of the league or a career backup going forward. So it's a big year for him also. So I think that's a great situation for him. I'm excited to see what Terence Marshall Jr. could do over there. The third LSU Tiger taken with the 115th pick was Jabril Cox, got taken by the Dallas Cowboys. I was a little surprised on 2 ends that Jabril Cox fell this far. Also, I was surprised that Dallas took him. Dallas is kind of a little stacked at linebacker already. I don't know if they're running a 3-4 or whatever, but I mean, they already got, Jalen Smith. They already got Lathan Vander Esch. They drafted Michael Parsons in the first round. So I was a little surprised to see them go Jabril Cox there. Happy for him. Seeing him get drafted. Clearly Dallas has a plan for him, because this is a guy that was projected to be possibly even a 2nd round pick. So for him to fall as much as he did, so I think it's the 4th round or whatever. For them to take him, clearly they got an idea of using him in some type of capacity. So shout out to Jabril Cox. The 5th LSU Tiger taken, which was taken just 7 picks after him, was Tyler Shelvin. Got taken by the Cincinnati Bengals. We having a LSU, similar to the whole state of Ohio, just seem to love LSU Tigers over there. We know that the Cleveland Browns got a lot of LSU. You got You got Beckham and Landry and Greedy Williams and Grant Delpit and Jacob Phillips over there in Cleveland. Now in Cincinnati, you got Jambalaya Joe Burrow, JaMarr Chase, Thaddeus Moss, and Tyler Shelvin joins the party over there. Another guy, that maybe could have gone a little earlier, but nevertheless for him, good job. Getting drafted here, especially considering that he opted out last year, which is something that could have backfired against him. But a guy that's gonna come in is a big time. You're not gonna expect much of him as a pass rusher, but could be a dominant, I mean dominant run stopper, and a guy that could just penetrate the middle of your offensive line, especially if he drops a few more pounds. I'm really, really happy for him, because he's a guy from the Lafayette, Louisiana area, which I'm obviously very familiar with. So, shout out to Tyler Shelvin, man. Good to see him, get drafted and represent, for Lafayette. The sixth, the I'm sorry, I thought it was fourth Tiger. Sorry, he was the fourth Tiger taken. The fifth LSU Tiger taken with the 205th pick was Racey McMatt, went to the Tennessee Titans. Good for him, yo. A guy that I think his pro day definitely, solidified him as a draftee. He didn't have great production at LSU because this was supposed to be the year where his production was supposed to come up a little bit, especially considering that JaMarr Chase opted out, Justin Jefferson went to the NFL, and Terence Marshall Jr. opted out basically in the middle of the season. But he had injury issues this year. And prior to this year, you seen flashes of his talent and of his speed, especially, which I think is the biggest key factor, in him getting drafted. But he's a guy that, he goes to a good situation. He got a chance to make some things happen. He played behind some extremely, extremely talented receivers at LSU. So he go to Tennessee. I know they missing Corey Davis. Maybe he could go in there and make some things happen and get on the field and produce for them. Shout out to him, yo. The sixth LSU Tiger taken, which obviously is really cool for me, with the 224th pick. My Philadelphia Eagles took Jacoby Stevens. I'm excited about this as an Eagles fan, also, and an LSU fan. It's similar to when we took Jalen Mills a few years ago in the seventh round from LSU, a guy that coming into the season was expected to get drafted, first, second, third round, whatever, around that range. But, for whatever reason, whether it's production or just whatever, he slips in the draft. He's dynamic for my Eagles. He's dynamic in the box. Now, he was too heavy to me to be a one single high type of safety. Where you're expecting him to roam and read the quarterback eyes and make plays, 30, 40 yards down the field. If you keep him in that box where it's within 10, 15, 20, 25 yards. He's a dynamic player. He's physical. He's athletic. When people want to see his coverage skills, not only he had the one-handed interception against Mississippi State a couple of years ago, but look at how he defended Kyle Pitts. When Kyle Pitts tried to run, routes in the middle of the field of that nature, Jacoby Stevens was right there. He was right there on him, stuck to him, covered him, knocked the ball away, and got physical with him. Bodied him up, got physical, and knocked the ball away effectively. I think that's a position for him where if he's a in the box safety or a outside roaming type of linebacker, I think he could have a really nice, solid career in the NFL. Shout out to Jacoby Stevens and Fly Eagles Fly. And the last LSU Tiger taken with the 237th overall pick was Kerry Vincent Jr. goes to the Denver Broncos. I'm glad for him because honestly, I thought when he opted out, I thought that was gonna probably hurt him. Because he was gonna be somebody that when people think about LSU's secondary in the championship season, they think about Grant Delpit, they think about Jacoby Stevens, they think about Christian Fulton, who was a second-round pick last year. And they think about Derek Stingley Jr., who is going to be a top 10, if not top 5 pick overall in the draft next year, barring anything catastrophic happening. So I was worried for him for that stake. But good for him, he gets drafted. One thing, his biggest element is his speed. Now, he's not a big guy, he's small. He didn't have a lot of interceptions and stuff of that nature. He may struggle with bigger receivers, but he has great speed. He's gonna most likely be a nickel corner in the NFL. A guy running with smaller slot receivers, where he could use his speed, and he is athletic now. He does have some really good athleticism with him to be able to cover those smaller slot receivers where they're quicker, but they may not be as physical. But there you have it, man. 7 LSU Tigers taken in the NFL draft. Shout out to all of them. NFLSU is a real thing. And hopefully by this time next year, we'll see a lot more guys come off the boards and get taken in the NFL draft. Love to see these young men dreams come true. And shout out my special thanks for them, because all of them were key contributors to a LSU Tiger. Well, except for Jabril Cox, of course, because he just transferred in. But all of them were contributors, besides Jabril Cox, to a national championship team for the 2019 LSU Tigers. So I thank them for that, and congratulations on your dreams coming true. But with that being said, that's all I got for y'all today. Appreciate y'all checking out the video. Hit the like button for your boy. Give me a subscribe. I'm going to have LSU and NCAA content throughout the year. I'm not sure which day I'm going to do it yet, because I got a lot going on. I'm coaching my daughter's softball team, and we're playing games and having practices this week. So just stay tuned to the channel, and I'll let y'all know when I'm going to have a live Q&A this week. So stay tuned for that. But until then, y'all have a blessed one. Go Tigers.